Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls, a show where we take your stock-specific related queries with top market experts on the show live. So how can you really participate on this show? Well, it's easy. All you need to do is the WhatsApp number that's flashing on your screens. You need to send in your name, your location along with your question and contact details and send us your queries, and on this very show top market experts will address your queries within minutes. Alternatively, you can also send us your queries on our YouTube platform where you're watching us and this show on the Business Today channel, and in the comment section you can mention all your details etc. and send us your queries as well. Do not forget to mention, in case you're holding on to some stocks, do mention your time horizon, the number of stocks that you have, so that guests can actually give you a better answer. In case you're looking to buy afresh, then we will definitely address those queries as well. So before we get started with the queries of today, let me tell you the top headlines we're tracking for you this hour. Markets extend gains to the fourth consecutive day. Volatility index sees a mild fall. Sensex up 360 points. The Nifty climbs above 22,450. MCX Gold is 103 rupees up in trade today at 71,100 rupees per 10 grams. It is still, however, 2,900 rupees down from its all-time high levels of 74,000 and above that. Silver is trading at 80,865 rupees per kilogram. Earnings heavy session as 23 companies set to announce Q4 results today, including heavyweight companies like Axis Bank, HUL and LTI Mindtree, along with Dalmia Bharat, that's also in the spotlight today. Warm welcome to all our viewers, and joining us now is our top market expert of the day, Aditya Agarwal, Head of Research and Investment at investforedu.com. Aditya, very warm welcome to you as well on Business Today and on our new show, that's Daily Calls. We will be getting all the queries, and we've already started to see some of the queries that are punching in our YouTube videos format as well. Do tell us first, what is your own sense of the markets right now? Is it a good time to stay invested in the markets? Because we've been looking at geopolitical scenario developing, and we've also looked at how elections are now taking place. Amidst this level, but do you still feel markets will get enough opportunities to viewers?
Good afternoon, Sakshi. Thanks for having the show. Markets are locked in a range, and I think till the time election results are out, markets will remain locked in a range. On the upside, 22,700, 22,800 is where the resistances are. And on the downside, clearly bulls chip in closer to about 22,000, about 21,900. We are right now at the midpoint of that range, and I believe markets will see maybe some more upside from current levels, closer to about 22,550, 22,600 again. Markets can test it. It's difficult, actually, to be honest, to trade this market because it's all over the place. Last week, markets corrected sharply. Now it's back up again, running on its feet. So it's difficult. You have to play the range. The moment markets come closer to the upper end of the range, you should look to book profits. While on the flip side, whenever markets come closer to the support area, which is 22,000, you can look to add on to the positions. If you're a positional trader, investor, then definitely you should look for opportunities like deep corrections to add good quality stocks in your portfolio. That is the best time to add them in the portfolio.
Okay, all right, and now we will start off with the queries from our viewers. Already Sandeep Pancharya and KD Pradhan have joined us on our YouTube platform. Hello to both of you. We will be taking your query, but first we'll take the query call which is coming from Kolkata, and this is Abigail Nyogi who's dialed in. Abigail ji, good afternoon. How are you? Do tell us what is your question on.
Yes, I have a question. I have these IFB Agro shares, which I bought at 410. Should I hold them or sell them? It's now 466.
All right. What is your time horizon? Had you bought it for short term, medium term or long term? If you can give us that detail too.
I bought it about 4 years ago.
4 years before, and you can hold on?
I can hold on. That's no problem.
Okay, there is no problem. You can hold on. Aditya, if you can look at IFB Agro, 100 shares at the rate of 410 rupees, sitting on profits, bought long time ago, 4 years itself. Today the stock is actually up 5.8%. So good time to be asking this question. Is it the right time to exit the holding or continue to hold at this point in time? Do you see further upside coming in on this stock?
Sakshi, I think it should be held. It's going through consolidation at the moment. On the upside, immediate targets would be about 510 to about 520. That is where the caller should take a view again closer to about 510, 520, because that is where the resistances are. Once that is taken out, then I believe stock will see much higher levels of closer to about 600, 650. I don't see any reason to exit in a hurry. Rather, I would suggest a trailing stop loss to put it closer to about 450, which will be still higher than the caller's buying price. I believe the caller's bought somewhere around 440, 410, 420. So 450, 460 should be your trailing stop loss, and immediate target should be 510. Review it again when stock comes close to about 510. Don't be in a hurry to just exit the stock yet.
Okay, don't be in a hurry, hold on, you will get better levels to exit your positions. I hope that answers your question, Abigail. Let's now take in our YouTube query before we go on to the next caller. This is from Sandeep Pancharya. He wants to know NCC and Geo Finance, those two stocks for fresh entry level. When can Sandeep ji really look at buying into those two stocks, NCC and Geo Finance? If you track these two stocks, could you give him your advice, please?
Yes, Akshi. First, let's talk about Geo Finance, because that is one stock which is in everybody's radar. I would avoid getting into Geo Finance at current levels, to be honest, because it has seen a sharp run up post its demerger and listing. At current levels, stock is sitting at extreme overbought levels. We're talking about Geo Finance at the moment. Yes, that is the stock we're talking about, and I see a kind of distribution pattern building up on the charts. So at current levels, I would strongly recommend not to get into the stock. Wait for a decline closer to about 350 or 340 odd levels. Those will give you good entry points, and don't be in a hurry to buy in one go as well. Buy in tranches. If at all you're looking to buy closer to about 340, 330, you should complete your buying, and then on the upside look for a target of 400. Talking about NCC, that is a very tactical play, Sakshi, to be honest, at the moment. Because the juice in the stock has already been played out, and from the lows of 240, stock has actually bounced back to 250 odd levels. He can look to buy at current levels, put a stop close to about 240, but I don't have a very large target on the stock from current levels. Maybe at 275 to 280 is what I'm looking at on NCC. So with a stop loss at 240, maybe he can look to enter at current levels for a target of 275 to about 280. We're talking about NCC.
Okay, I hope that answers your question, Sandeep ji, on both NCC and on Geo Finance right now. Let's get across to our next caller. This is from Bengaluru. Mohan has dialed in. Mohan ji, good afternoon. What is the question that you have? Which are the shares that you bought?
Hello, Sakshi. Good afternoon. Hello, Aditya. Good afternoon. My question is, I am holding HDFC Life. I have bought it around 6-8 months back in 3 to 4 slabs or portions. I am sitting on around 100 stocks. I am sitting on just 5% profits as of today. So considering the insurance penetration and a larger this one horizon, I have considered for a long term. But as of now, I am not seeing this stock is not taking any traction. So could you please share your light, and is it a good time to hold or exit?
Absolutely, Mohan. The good part is that he's still sitting on profits, but the horizon is pretty long, next 5 years. And this is also a good part, you know, when we see very less percentage of Indian investors that really want to sit on stocks for a very long term, 5 years, 10 years perspective to really create value. The thought process behind HDFC Life is also good, that Mohan has shared with us, that looking at the current insurance penetration, there could be a lot of opportunity. But in the recent results, we haven't seen anything enthusiastic really coming off from this space. We saw ICICI Pru posting weak earnings. HDFC Life also did not excite investors and markets as well. How do you see the stock for the next 5 years? Is it a good stock to sit on for the next 5 years to create massive value?
Good afternoon, Mohanji. And absolutely right. Given the penetration of general insurance and life insurance in India, this is one space which will definitely get a boost. And once the new government comes into power, I think there will be a lot of impetus on life insurance and maybe some general insurance as well. Talking specifically of HDFC Life, I believe stock is a little expensive as well on the fundamental side, and on the technical side, stock is not doing much for itself. It's a sideways consolidation that I see on the stock. But given the fact that your time horizon is large enough, I would suggest maybe you can continue to hold on to HDFC Life and add a few more stocks in this entire space. One could be an ICICI GI Lombard, and there could be ICICI Prudential. Both the stocks look extremely good to me. And on a correction, maybe an SBI Life is something that can be looked at, not at current levels. So maybe you can wait for HDFC Life to bounce back from current levels closer to about 640, 650. Those are the levels I would recommend. You can look to exit and switch from HDFC Life to maybe an SBI Life, and also look to add ICICI GI and ICICI Prudential. It's a good time actually. These corrections give you a good opportunity to enter into these stocks.
Okay, right. I hope that answers your question as well. Let's move across to the next caller. I think we have Mr. KD Pradhan who's dialed in from New Delhi. Mr. Pradhan had also written to us on our YouTube channel asking on JP Power Venture. Let's see if he has the same query while he's dialing us as well. Mr. Pradhan, good afternoon. कैसे हैं? केडी प्रधान जी, क्या आप सुन पा रहे हैं हमें? Okay, I think there is some kind of an issue. We could not connect the line, but I'll read out the question, Aditya, that he has sent us. This is on JP Power Venture. He is holding 3,000 shares at 17.45. He's asking what is the future. He can hold for 6 months from now, but this is the problem. This kind of a stock which is in a penny category, in the last 6 months, of course, it's given 100% hike, the kind of raise that we've seen. In the last 1 year, again, about a 200% surge is what investors have got. But again, the stock is now lying low for from the time that he really bought. So the question comes in of the entry. You may be watching out a stock and seeing that, yes, in the last 6 months, it's been going for a trend, but you do not know when it will stop performing, because these are penny stocks and we do not have any fundamental backing news as well. How would you advise Mr. Pradhan here, Aditya?
So a couple of things to monitor when you get into these kind of stocks, and these stocks have seen this kind of a correction actually because of the kind of debt that they have on the books, and no order books and heavily debt ridden. What is interesting to see, Sakshi, now is this entire space is seeing a good traction. Order books are increasing for a lot of these power companies, especially in the renewable power, solar, wind, energy. We are seeing good orders there. Talking of JP Power, again, this though has come into a penny stock category. Now one needs to closely watch out for the quarterly results, at least monitor for a couple of quarters and see if the debt is coming down, or they have any plans to reduce the debt, and there is any orders, new orders that they're getting. That will be key for any kind of a fillip to the stock. I'm not saying that stock will not go up. Stock has already, like you mentioned, doubled recently from the lows. But now one needs to watch out for fresh order wins and how they are taking care of the debt. At current levels, maybe he can place a stop close to about $15, and that is where a good support is. So 15 should be a stop loss. On the upside, if the stock starts to trade above 20 rupees, maybe then stock can test levels of 24, 25. I would not suggest exit just immediately. Hold on to it with a stop loss close to about 15, and keep a close eye on how the management is what the management commentary is and how the quarterly results come out.
ओके गॉट दैट. बहुत सारे और भी लोग हमारे पास लगातार यूट्यूब चैनल के जरिए हमें सवाल भेज रहे हैं. अपने सत्यनारायण राव कुलकर्णी का भी सवाल आया है ये केमिकल स्टॉक्स पे. लेकिन सत्यनारायण जी, आपने कोई स्टॉक्स तो बताया नहीं कि आपने कौन से स्टॉक्स होल्ड किए हुए हैं. आपका सवाल है केमिकल स्टॉक्स पे. अगर आप आइडिया दें कि आप कौन से स्टॉक्स को एवरेज करना चाह रहे हैं तो ये सवाल मैं आपका अगला ले लूँगी गेस्ट से. लेकिन शिवम ने भी हमें लिखा है, ये खासतौर पर यूट्यूब प्लेटफॉर्म के जरिए, ये रेलवे स्पेस में दिलचस्पी रखते हैं और IRFC स्टॉक इन्होंने के के ऊपर इनका फोकस है। अगले 6 महीने के लिए टारगेट आपसे जानना चाह रहे हैं आदित्य। IRFC, क्या आपको पसंद है ये स्टॉक? लगातार पिछले कुछ समय में इसने आउट परफॉर्म डेफिनेटली किया, लेकिन फिर एक डल पीरियड भी आ गया क्योंकि बहुत तेजी से बहुत ही छोटे समय में इसने कमाल का काम दिखाया है। तो आगे के 6 महीने का नजरिया आपका क्या है?
साक्षी, मैक्सिमम रेलवे स्टॉक्स में हमने देखा है कि एक बहुत अच्छा आउट परफॉर्मेंस था और उसके बाद एक करेक्शन जायज था, मैंने थोड़े प्रॉफिट बुकिंग ये सभी स्टॉक्स में आने थे। अब एक जब अच्छा खासा करेक्शन आ गया है, साइडवेज कंसोलिडेशन दिख रहा है स्टॉक में, आई थिंक अच्छा टाइम है अभी इसको एक्यूमुलेट करने के लिए। अगर आप देख रहे हैं IRFC में एक्यूमुलेशन के लिए करंट लेवल्स में बिल्कुल खरीदारी बनती है, इस पे पोजिशनल ट्रेड करें। नीचे में 130 रुपए का बहुत अच्छा सपोर्ट है, वो आपका स्टॉप लॉस होना चाहिए। अभी से लेके 140 रुपए तक एक्यूमुलेट करें स्टॉक, और ऊपर में 190 का पहला टारगेट रहेगा, उसके ऊपर अगर स्टॉक निकालता है तो फिर हम 240 250 के लेवल्स पे देखेंगे। इसके अलावा अगर मैं एक और स्टॉक रेकमेंड कर सकूं इसी स्पेस में, तो IRCTC इज वन स्टॉक विच इज लुकिंग वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग on the chart setup. And if you look at the recent Vande Bharat trains that they're getting, and then plus a lot of institutional interest is also seeing in the stock. Looking at the chart setup, I think stock is good to go to levels of 1200 from current levels. So IRCTC is also one stock that Shivam can definitely add within the railway portfolio.
ओके, रेलवे स्पेस पे शिवम आप IRCTC के ऊपर भी फोकस कर सकते हैं, यहाँ पर आपको राय दी गई है। इसके अलावा आई थिंक कार्तिक एस इज रिटन टू अस एंड दिस इज ऑन Aster DM Healthcare and the question is, can we hold or sell? No more details have been shared. Kartik ji, it's always better to share with us what is the price at which you have bought this share, what is the kind of quantity that you have and the kind of horizon that you had when you bought these shares. It gives a better understanding to our guests to give you the right advice as well. But if you track this stock, Aster DM Healthcare, Kartik, Aditya, if you can tell us what should Kartik do at this point in time?
So it's actually an interesting observation. Yesterday, the stock was down because of the dividend payout. Company has declared a massive dividend, which is why the stock corrected in trade yesterday. It's not a correction. So there's nothing wrong in the company. Don't think that the stock has corrected from 520 to 400 because of any event. No, it's because of the dividend adjustment that we saw yesterday. And now coming back to his query, after the dividend, stock is seeing some kind of a profit booking as well. So on the downside, 380 is a very important support. I don't know the gentleman's time horizon. If it's very short term, then I would suggest keep a stop loss just below 380 odd levels. That happens to be the 200 DMA. Below that, stock can decline to levels of 330. However, if stock does manages to hold on to 380, 375 odd levels, I see a bounce back in the stock. So nothing to panic. 370 to 380 is a good strong area for your stock.
Okay, got that. I hope that answers your question, Kartik. I think he's now shared 65.28. That's the quantity probably he holds of this stock as of now. But some more details are still remaining. All right, let's take the other query, and this is coming from Swati. She wants to know on this stock called New Time Infra. This is hardly a stock that we discuss on air, but the stock is right now hovering at around 53.5, and Swati had bought these shares at the level of 50. And she wants to know for the next 4 to 5 months odd, what is the kind of target that she can expect on this one. This stock, if we look at the last 6 months, has given stupendous returns of 425%. Your own sense on New Time Infra, if you track this company at all, Aditya?
No, Sakshi, unfortunately, I don't track the stock, and I can't find the ticker of the stock as well, unfortunately. And because if it's given a 4% kind of 400% kind of a return, I'm sure one should be a little cautious, and it's not harm. There's no harm in booking partial profits in the stock. Unfortunately, I can't identify the stock ticker, or maybe I can't find it on NSE or BSE at the moment, so I won't be able to give a view on New Time Infra.
Okay, Swati, unfortunately, we are unable to give you a call on this one. Please do let us know in case you have any other query that we can take for you. There are other questions also coming in. Namish wants to know on a question. He has a question on RVNL. Is that the question on RVNL, Namish? That's what you want to know. 60 at the rate of 62 is what you've got. Is RVNL on your radar? Because RVNL is now trading at 281 rupees. That's another one that's coming in. Can you give us your view on this one?
Oh, definitely, Sakshi. And on similar lines, like
Yeah.
IRFC, RVNL is also looking interesting after correction. Stock went into a consolidation phase. Good time to get into RVNL as well. Definitely, with the stop close to about 240, I think stock is poised to test levels of 350 plus next 1 quarter or so. So definitely thumbs up for RVNL as well. In fact, as a disclaimer, this is one stock that we are recommending to our clients as well. So for a target of 350, you can definitely look at accumulating at current levels. If you already have it, maybe not a bad idea to buy more, and because your average buying will still be much lower if you bought it at lower prices. And do keep a watch on 230 levels. That is your immediate support on the stock.
Okay, got that. So I hope that answers your question on RVNL. There are some other questions also coming in. This is from Arivahant, and he wants to know on Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. He wants to know a buying level on this stock. There was a time, Aditya, that all of these small finance bank companies, all of these housing finance companies, in the recent past itself, maybe last month, they were all getting traction. They were all in a flavor as well. And of course, with the kind of business updates that they were giving as well for FY24, that also was one of the key triggers for all of these stocks to be in momentum. Do you think of Ujjivan Small Finance favorably, and would you advise Arihant on what could be the buying level on this stock?
Oh, definitely, Sakshi. I don't see any problem with these stocks. In fact, these stocks could be your big money makers for next 1 year or as well. So Ujjivan Finance, Small Finance Bank also falls under that same category. He can look to add current levels or maybe on a decline closer to about 45 odd levels. Again, a strong recommendation would be don't buy in one go. Look to buy in tranches because markets are volatile. You will get bouts of profit booking. So whenever you get a profit booking in Ujjivan Finance, Small Finance Bank as well, closer to about 50-45 is a good entry point for the stock. And on the upside, I believe stock will cross its previous high of 62 odd levels. So my target first will be 62, and if that is taken out, maybe stock can test levels of 70 as well. But look, don't be in a hurry to buy. Start buying slowly and gradually in tranches from current level to maybe about 50-45 on the downside.
Okay, I hope that answers your question, Arihant. The other one, I think Namesh has come back with a question to us, and he now wants to know from you on BRNL. That's Bharat Road Network. He holds this, he's bought this stock at the level of 62. Currently, if we see the stock is in a downtrend, right now it's trading at around 56 odd levels. What should he do for the next 2 to 5 months? He wants to hold it. He can hold it for the next 2 to 5 months. So what should he do?
Not a very healthy looking chart setup, Sakshi. It's like, as you mentioned, it's in a downward spiral, hitting lower circuits most of the time. Do keep a stop loss close to about 50 rupees. 50-51 is your immediate support level on the stock. If that is taken out, I believe stock will test its previous low of 35 and then 25 as well. Not too gung-ho. Don't look at stocks which are in a downward spiral. Maybe, and even if you got stuck there, there's no harm in booking minor losses there and exiting. Look for stocks which are heading higher rather than ones which are going down.
Okay, got that. Satyanarayan ji has come back with more details. We were taking his question earlier as far as the chemical stocks are concerned. So he's talked to us about two stocks that he holds, Alkyl Amines and Balaji Amines. And he now wants to know, he wants to average both of them. What is the right level to average these shares, if you could guide? Of course, chemicals and fertilizer space are coming back in action after some bit of an underperformance. Would it also be a good time to average out?
Oh, yes, actually. I think chemical space is one sector which is, as you mentioned, underperformed. And maybe post-elections, this space could be one interesting bet to definitely look at. Talking about Alkyl Amines first, it's witnessed massive correction and now a good consolidation we are seeing, Sakshi, there. I think it's good time to buy at current levels. Again, I don't see an immediate run up, so don't think that today you buy the stock, tomorrow it will start going up. There's some consolidation which is going on in the stock, and it will be the order like that for at least a couple of months more. At current levels, Alkyl Amines can definitely be bought and can be added on the downside till 2000 odd levels. I don't see a big correction in the stock. On the upside, I think stock can surprise us and test levels of 2800 to about 3000 as well. Talking of Balaji Mines, it's on a similar chart setup, just like Alkyl Amines, both mirror itself. On the upside, I think this too can be accumulated at current levels, and on the upside, stock can definitely test levels of 2,800 as well. So both Balaji Amines and Alkyl Amines, I think they're good bets within the chemical space. Can also be third stock, if I can recommend within the space, is an SRF, which we like, and I think SRF can also be looked at current levels and can give you decent 15 to 20% return in next 1 quarter.
Okay, तो आपको सत्यनारायण जी, I hope this answers your question. Plus, in addition to Alkyl Amines and Balaji Amines, where both of these can be averaged out for a target price of 2,800, 2,900 odd, there's another one that Aditya has given to you. इसको आप बोनस ही मान सकते हैं अगर आपको केमिकल क्षेत्र में इंटरेस्ट है तो SRF पर यहाँ पर उनका भरोसा है, तो आप इस स्टॉक के ऊपर भी थोड़ी नज़र डाल सकते हैं, पढ़ सकते हैं इसके बारे में और इनकी गाइडेंस को समझकर आप इसमें निवेश कर सकते हैं. All right, Aditya, I'd like you to stand by for us. Now it's the time for also getting us some of the reports that are coming in as far as the aviation space is concerned. Remember, it's the peak summer season that is approaching us, and there is a rising buzz around hike in airfares. And now sources have told Business Today television that the Ministry of Civil Aviation has taken cognizance of the report submitted by the parliamentary panel earlier this year on capping airfares route wise. According to such sources, in the Ministry of Civil Aviation, the government may discuss with airlines their views and consolidate a report as well. The centre is of the view that it is important to avoid a volatile airfare situation, especially concerning spot airfares, and to find a way to promote affordability in this sector. Karishma Sudani is standing by with more details on this. Karishma, take it away.
Well, right. It's actually, the Ministry of Civil Aviation has shared with us exclusively that DGCA is looking into reports of high airfares and the surge in airfares that have caused a major havoc in terms of how the consumers and passengers are not able to make take convenient, affordable flights. A parliamentary panel report was submitted in early February regarding this in order to put some kind of cap on the airfares, and this was being considered for a long time. But the metrics and dynamics of this have to be ascertained, which the ministry will now be having a look. So the next step immediately is that the government is going to try and take a meeting, a chat meeting, like they call it, with the airlines to discuss on what could the inputs be from them. Should there be a regulation? Should there be a regulator on airfares? Because it's been quite a while that we've been noticing a lot of fluctuations and volatility in how the airfares are in India, and especially this is also because of the demand and supply curve. Let's not forget that we've been facing issues in terms of our supply chain. We have one of the airlines which has been non-operational for a year now. The other airlines are also facing a lot of issues. This also contributes a lot to increase in spot airfare, but it will be nice if the government intervenes and tries and adjust something. Though it's an unregulated sector in terms of the airfares, it's very important if DGCA could try and take some discussions forward on this.
All right. Thanks a lot, Karishma, for all that update. We will continue to keep an eye out on the aviation space as well. Aditya, the aviation space continues to be facing some turbulence, and one after the other, we've been seeing airlines go belly up, and there are several issues. Of course, the crude oil prices have been a concern as well. But I wanted to understand with you, as far as Indigo is concerned, that's the probably the only player which has sound fundamentals that listed on the exchanges right now. It has time and again proven its market share and on the earnings front as well. How would you really look at Indigo? It has been consistently performing as well.
Oh, absolutely, Sakshi. In fact, the trend is going very strong for the stock. And as you mentioned, it's the only listed player probably worth looking at fundamentally as well. I believe if you already have it in the portfolio, continue to ride the trend. Don't be in a hurry to just book out profits. If you're looking for a fresh entry, maybe just wait it out for the stock to correct a bit. At current levels, stock is sitting at minor overbought levels. So there could be a bit of profit booking in the stock, close to about 3,600. or 3,500 is where you can look to start nibbling into the stock. And on the upside, I think stock can test levels of 4,000 again in the near term. So definitely it's a strong trend for the stock, but for fresh entry, just wait it out for some correction because it's sitting at minor overbought levels.
Okay, got that. So that's the view coming in on Indigo. We have one more question that's come in. Swati has come back with a question. Last time we couldn't take her question, so she wants to now know on banking space. Aditya, she clearly wants to know from you, IndusInd Bank, UCO Bank, PNB or South Indian Bank. Which of these banks would you advise for fresh buying as of now? Where do you see, better profitability factor, trickling in?
So we'll talk of private sector banks and public sector banks separately because she spoke of IndusInd and a couple of public sector banks. As far as IndusInd Bank is concerned, definitely looks strong on the chart setup. And today we'll get numbers of access, so that will give some light as to how the performance of the rest of the private sector banks can be. Having said that, IndusInd Bank on the downside, maybe closer to about 1,400 to about 1,350 is a good entry point. Don't be in a hurry to buy the stock just yet. Wait for a minor dip in IndusInd Bank. Closer to about 1,350 is where you can start buying into it. Apart from that, if there is another private bank which can be looked at is HDFC Bank. After the sharp fall, stock had come out with decent set of numbers. Charts are looking interesting. So HDFC Bank at current level is also an interesting buy, Sakshi, in the private space. Talking of PSU banks, within the space, PNB, UCO, Canara, these are some of the stocks which are definitely looking interesting. But at current levels, I would avoid getting into most of the PSU names. The three stocks that she's mentioned, UCO, PNB, all the two stocks are sitting at overbought levels. Probably the only PSU stock which looks interesting to me at current levels is an SBI. Probably SBI is something that I can look at, and I believe there is decent upside in the stock because of the underperformance of the stock at shown.
Okay, I hope that addresses your question, Swati, and thanks for coming back and sharing your next question with us. Please do mention in the comments below how did you find the advice on this channel. Do tell us, and if there is any other clarification that you request from our guests as well. And meanwhile, Aditya, many thanks for being with us on this very special edition and addressing all these wonderful queries from our viewers and helping them really get clarity as to what should their position be on some of these stocks that they are holding as well. Many thanks for being with us. So viewers, we will wrap it up at that, our daily calls show, but you can participate in this show on an everyday Monday to Friday when we come out with this show. Half an hour is what we have on this show right now, where we do take maximum queries that we can from you. In case you've not been able to send in your query yet, this is the easiest way how you can send us your query. You can also join in, by the way, by sending your video call bites or audio call information as well, and along with it you can definitely use the text format to send us your questions along with your name, location, your question and your contact details, and we will ensure that we incorporate your query in this edition of Daily Calls as well. Many thanks for being with us on this edition. Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra. Well, the Reliance results have come out, and some of the key highlights I'll highlight for all our viewers. Joining us shortly will be a top market expert to decode the